Shut it down. Shut it down. Hi, welcome to ABC's Film, where we watch movies that have won the Best Picture award at the Oscars. But this week we're going to be watching a movie that Alex has chosen. It is the Argentinian movie The Secret in Their Eyes.
El 21 de junio de 1974 fue el último día que Ricardo Morales desayunó con Liliana Colotto. Y durante el resto de su vida recordó cada detalle de esa mañana.
So The Secret in Their Eyes is a movie about a retired special investigator who decides to go over the details of a past case that has been haunting him involving a rape and a murder of a young girl.
Quiero escribir. ¿Qué tiene de malo? Quiero escribir sobre la causa de Morales.
So, Barry, what did you think of A Secret in Their Eyes?
I loved it. It's compelling right to the very, very end. It doesn't drag at all, and I like
Which
it.
is quite interesting, really, because like the main case is not really that interesting, but it's like you kind of know who it's going to be from like pretty much the start of the film, like who's responsible for the but
You know who raped and murdered this girl.
it's not really about the mystery; it's more so about the characters.
Yeah, and kind of
unspoken desires.
are they going to get him?
Yeah,
Is the
kind
thing,
of,
but it's not important what he did really.
It's more of a film about justice than the crime, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
about bringing people to justice more than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo no estoy de acuerdo con la pena de muerte.
No, yo tampoco. Pensé que a lo mejor para usted era como una retribución o algo así.
¿Retribución? ¿Que lo van a violar y lo van a matar a golpes como hizo con ella? No. Le darían una inyección y se quedaría dormido lo más pancho. Muy injusto.
What did you think of the direction, Barry? Overall.
I was very impressed with much of it, but I think what I was impressed by was script stuff. See, because it's set at when, like, not present day, sort of in the 80s.
I think it's like 99,
Yeah,
something like that.
so the character, when he's retired, is old, but much of the movie is told in flashbacks. Anytime it cuts back or it cuts forward, there's something that ties each
I
scene
was
together.
gonna say, yeah.
Like, you know, there's the bit where he's got a broken typewriter where the A doesn't work.
Yeah.
So in the 90s or whenever it is, he's using this old typewriter that he's quite fond of, and he's having to like write with a pen the A's into it, and then it does the flashback and you see him just getting the typewriter and he's like, this A keeps sticking. And because that ends up being quite a good story point, I would say that's more script than direction, because at first I was like, oh, that's great that he's done that, it's just a little thing, but
Yeah.
Che, ¿qué le pasa a la de esta máquina? ¿Me la puedes sacar de acá, por favor? No la aguanto más. Toma, llévatela.
¿Pero a qué se la meto?
No sé, pero sacámela de acá de la vista, no la aguanto más.
It kind of works with the makeup as well, because you can tell instantly just by looking at the characters, like they've got different haircuts.
makeup's
and-
really good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can tell that what time period you're in with each of the characters.
Yeah.
I think.
But no, mostly the direction, particularly when they weren't inside a building, was annoying.
And there's
Shaky
a-
cam.
yeah.
It's not even shaky cam, it's just cameraman's walking around all over the place whilst people are talking.
It's a film that's mostly set inside offices and like indoor rooms.
Yeah, when it's
anyway,
inside,
so
it's
a lot-
fine.
It's quite static anyway.
Buenos días. Estamos buscando a Isidoro Gómez.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Sabes quiénes son?
Mike Hammer, boludo. ¿Vino a trabajar Isidoro Gómez?
No, él no vino a trabajar. Mira que nosotros no tenemos nada que ver con él.
Bueno, por favor, deme la dirección de Isidoro.
Ahora le doy. ¡Fernández! ¡Dejó acá en
So in the middle of this film, they've got this, what I think is the most famous scene in the film, definitely the most famous scene in the film from a direction point of view, where it's like a 5-minute continuous shot in a stadium where they're going looking for the guy who they suspect of being the killer. It is just one continuous shot, like it goes over a football stadium. It
That's the bit
pans
that's
over.
impressive, is like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can see the splice, because it's obviously like, I'd say I spotted 2 splices in the 5 minutes it's
Apparently
on,
it was
but
completely continuous. Apparently, so I've heard, or so I read on Wikipedia. Anyway,
what, including
so.
the helicopter shot?
Yeah.
Because it
They dropped the
starts off,
camera to a guy and then...
because it starts off like miles away from the
Yeah.
stadium, and this helicopter sort of zooms in, and then it goes down.
I think there's definitely a split. Yeah,
it tips down, and
see
it's
the
going
different
over the
parts,
crowd,
yeah.
and that's like where there's obviously a splice.
Yeah.
And then it sort of pans up.
I think if you watched it in detail, you could probably see like precisely how they
Yeah,
did it, or
there's
at least some impression of how the camera moves. Like obviously they make it move in a very specific way to be able to cover up the special effects and the special techniques that they're using.
That's always a tell for me with like long shots and stuff. Is when like there are times when they'll change the perspective of the camera digitally to make it fit.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like you can just to spot
Yeah.
that stuff naturally.
So the other main like kind of plot thread in the film is that there's a central love story between the guy who's investigating the case and his boss.
Yes.
Called Irene. Did you find it convincing?
I thought it was very useless.
Which is kind of like the other main plot in the film.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
It? It's like the double.
I thought it was
plot.
kind of pointless. However, I thought it was kind of realistic.
Yeah.
But I liked it because at the end, he's written his book and he gives it to her to read.
Yeah.
She reads it in like 2 minutes. Then she gives like a really nice speech about how everything he's written is a massively like dramatized version of what actually happened. I like that seeds like the unreliable narrator thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, was everything as dramatic as he said, or are we just seeing his version of it?
Sí, qué
El tipo llorando como si fuera un desgarro.
Sí, que...
Y ella corriendo por el andén como sintiendo que se iba el amor de su vida.
Bueno,
Y tocándose las manos a través del vidrio como si fueran una sola persona.
Pues
Y ella
sí.
llorando. Como si supiera que le esperaba un destino de mediocridad y desamor. Casi cayéndose en las vías. Como queriendo gritar un amor que nunca se había animado a confesar.
sí, sí fue así o no fue así.
¿Y si fue así? ¿Por qué no me llevaste con vos?
The case goes cold and the guy disappears. And then years later, when the special investigator is, looking back through the details, he ends up at the husband of the murder victim's house out in the countryside.
Mi mujer está muerta. Su amigo está muerto. Gómez también está muerto. Están todos muertos. No le dé más vueltas. Va a empezar con que si hubiera estado, si no hubiera estado. Va a tener 1000 pasados sin ningún futuro. No piense más, hágame caso. Se va a quedar solo con recuerdos.
And he discovers that the murderer didn't disappear. He was actually kidnapped by the husband, and he's been keeping him locked up in a farm and only feeding him, like bare minimum for 20 years?
25 years or so, I think.
Yeah,
is the
for like
distance.
25 years. It's really haunting.
Pídale que, aunque sea, me hable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's by far the most powerful moment in the film, but it also kind of makes you feel not bad for the husband, but it's also kind of pitiable because he's so stuck in the past, and he just can't get over what happened that he's still there in that exact situation.
That revenge is
It's
consumed his entire life. His entire life now is looking after that guy.
Yeah, which is obviously not something you really want to do because that's the guy who raped and murdered his wife.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're both trapped together. Like they both. I don't want to say they both can't get over it, but obviously he's keeping the guy there. So
Yeah.
he definitely can get over it. He's just still looking into the past and can't get over the fact that his wife was murdered. And I think he says when he's talking to the main guy that he tried to date other women and stuff, but he wasn't able to.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not that was possibly a lie because he has a guy trapped out back, But I can't date women because I've kidnapped someone, so
now
I've
go.
instead. I think it thematically ties into the ending quite well though as well, because it's I think it makes the main guy realise that stop living in the past and start living for the future, kind of thing, which is I think what the intention was there.
Yeah, and there's lots of. The bit I liked was early on when he's talking to him and he starts saying that he doesn't want the death penalty for the guy and stuff. I like that because then at the end
there's a lot of great foreshadowing, isn't there?
Cerra la puerta.
So that was our review of the Argentinian movie The Secret in Their Eyes. Hopefully you enjoyed it and found it interesting, and see us in 2 weeks' time when we'll be doing Oliver, the last musical that we do for a while until Chicago. So
Cool, Governor.
cool, blimey.
Oliver. Bollocks.
Every night I bring her Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. How my baby loves those Frankfurter sandwiches, Frankfurter sandwiches. I try to win her with candy, candy, ice cream and custard. But how she likes hot dogs with mustard.